But there. Hickey. Yeah, there's more grit to it now. Did these fall out? Yep. Hello. Gotta trim my nails, are getting too long. Hello, JD. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Busy, but well. I'm gonna move her up. Goes up here. There we go. Okie doke. Working on a dry air dryer right now. Just gonna leave that there for tomorrow. Cover that. Okay. So I've got, oh, I already got her on the list. All right. Itchy. I paint Reborn dolls. I do both. I use heat set, and I also do air dry. So in the evenings, I usually do air dry. So I'm doing an air dry right now for a customer. And that's this one here. This is a June kit. She's a 3D replica of a real baby, used with the special like 3D photogenic system, whatever. And then they make doll kits out of them, and then us artists paint them and we bring them to life. So they call these ones Reborns, and Reborns are sculpted by hand. So I'm going to start building her skin. I did her modeling. So modeling is like what we have in our hands here. That's modeling. Now I'm building texturing. And it just makes the skin more 3D, more realistic. Yeah, it's a big, huge community of people that do it, and then they have doll shows around the world where people can win awards and stuff like that, you know. I also paint silicones as well, but I've only painted one silicone so far. It's a lot more expensive to do silicone, so but I'm also learning sculpting because I want to learn how to sculpt an actual doll kit. So, but I got ways to go for that. Where's my red texture? That's modeling. Modeling. I need texture. Maybe you don't have, that's red wash, yellow wash, blue wash, purple wash. Oh, I got a yellow texture. I don't have a red texture. It's a good thing I bought more jars. Okay. So I guess I'm making a mix today. Okay. Let's get one of these new jars that I bought. I bought these for air dry. So I'm just going to put these. That darn light drives me nuts because it's a touchscreen light. So if I just bump it, it turns off. All right. So I'm just going to move her here so I don't splash her. No, brand new jar. All right. So I'm going to get some red air dry. So for red, I use Golden Fluids Pyro Red. Because I haven't had any fading issues going on with that. So I really like to use this one. And it's the Pyro Red by Golden Fluids. The rest of the paints I use in air dry are Ultimate Fusion, which is an actual Reborn paint from an Australian company. So I'm just going to pour some of this into there. And make sure you remove those dry bits at the top before you put them in there. What is the moment of my greatest joy? Honestly, that's a hard one to answer. I guess uh, I guess I would have to say is when I was raising my goddaughter, because I got to know what it felt like to be a mother, because I can't have children. So even if it was for only 8 months, I would have to say that's my greatest joy, but it's also my greatest heartbreak when I had to give her back. So kind of goes in both ways. Not an easy time. Oh yeah, I have to mix it in here. I keep forgetting that. So I'm going to pour this one actually in here. This is a neutralizing color. It's called peach. Not peach, I'm sorry, salmon. And we use it for neutralizing. So if your kid is like a grayish tone, doesn't have like a lot of color in it, then we would use this color for that. And with some white that's stuck in the bottom there. Okay. Oh, this jar's a big mess. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to label this as salmon. I don't use this color very often, actually. But you never know with some kits. So I'm going to put that one here. Oh, starting light. Come on. Oh no, I just turned it off. 2, 3. Okay. Now I gotta clean out this bowl. Just gonna use some alcohol at the top here because this is got to be a big mess. What a mess this is. I only own the one. I should get another one for backup. So I can clean this one offline. Not there. All right. I think this one's too dirty. I think I'm going to have to use alcohol to clean it. These brushes here. Long weekend for Canada. I don't know what's going on in the United States, but it's a long weekend for Canada. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that. My pool might be closed on Monday. Dang it. Darn. I wanted to do my lane swimming. So Zoe. It's really hanging on to there. No, I think it's mostly at the top. This has been a really big pain to clean. Yeah. Didn't realize it was this dirty. I have to completely make sure it's dry though before I mix any paint in there. Oh, there's some blue stuck in the corners here. Wow, what a mess. Should be a lot better now. Yeah, it looks a lot better now. I need it to be clean so that I can see through it to know if the paint's thin enough. Yeah, it sure was a mess. So I'm just going to get another paper towel, make sure that it's dry. Before you start adding paint in there. Usually flashes off really fast. So yeah, it's dry. Yeah. There's no alcohol left in there. Okay. I gotta change my glove though, because that one's dirty. I don't want to get that on her. Alright, so I'm going to pour some paint down here. And then I'm going to add the mediums that I need. So I got this is Blend Flowers, should be at least. Okay, so Blend Flow it makes the paint blend beautifully, but it also gives that extra adhesion. Hi, Amber. So I'm going to put probably about 3 dots with that mixture. And then I use anti-bead Anti-bead makes it not be pretty much not make a bead because water beads. And then I always add sealer to it. It just prevents fading and protects the work. So I'll put a couple drops into there. Alright, so I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to just mix this first. I want to mix all the mediums in the paint. Really get them all in there. And then I'm going to add distilled water. See? You can't use regular water. It will not work. It has to be distilled. So when I'm doing a texturing strength, this here is too strong because the paint should show for a second and then clear. Where this is not doing that, it's a bit too strong. So I'll add some more. I'm gonna have to refill that bottle. They call, Sue Ellen calls this the tilt test. When you tilt it, it's almost there. It should just stay behind for a second and then run clear. Yeah, that's a lot better, huh? Still staying around a bit. That's hard. Yeah, I gotta fill that up. Yeah, I think that's. You want to be able to see through it. So yeah, I think that'll be fine. So I'm gonna get my red sponge here. And my eyes itchy. Itchy eye. Okay. So I'll just use my brush here. Paint it on here. So I'm going to start at the back of her head. You always want to start there just in case it's too strong or something, you know. It's not an area that's more noticeable. So just apply it like that. I don't think I have enough paint on here. I'm going to use... Which color did I use this on? Let me see a color. I might use that on the peach, so I'll get another brush. All right. I'm going to use this one because this one is not grabbing me. I mean, it's okay for modeling, but I don't think it's okay for the sponge. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go here. Yeah, that's better. All right. So I'm basically putting a pattern on her that's like this. She's got a big head, so I'm gonna have to do that. I'll put paint on the sponge a few times, actually. I call it butter the biscuit. People know if I say butter the biscuit, I'm texturing. Okay. All right. Some more. When I'm done her 3 colors of texturing, which is red, yellow, and blue, I will do some update pictures of her so people can see more realistically what her color looks like, because the camera never picks that up. So I'm going to texture everywhere except where I can't get and the T-zone. So I'm going to texture here. Mm. Just some areas I wouldn't able to get to over here. Okay, that's closest I'm gonna get. So now I'm gonna use, for her ears and her T-zone, I'm gonna use a wash strength, which is weaker, which means it's more thin. Hi, Kai. Well, I wasn't sure if you were coming tonight. So I'm basically doing this so she doesn't look like a raccoon. So I need one of these sponges here. And I'm just going to go over her T-zone. Oh, you made it in time because I had to clean the container out. I had a salmon color in there, so it took me a bit to clean it. What? I'm pretty sure there should be 3 bags. I figured you would want it because of the long weekend. Okay, so over here. Air dries really fast, so I'm just doing a section at a time here. Especially this primer makes her dry even faster. When I didn't use primer, I noticed I had a little more time. Not a lot more, but... So I'm just going to stay in this region here. Okay, I'm going to get a smaller brush so I can... put some paint in my nose. Just don't want to go in, does it? It's weird. It's not. That's okay. I can always use powders in those. It's no big deal. Because this is not... doesn't even look like it's painting it. Yeah, I could just use powders. That's fine. Alright. Look like she's got color down here. Her nose is really making me work tonight, isn't it? All right. Okay. It's a little better. It's a little more evened out. Baby mustache. Yeah, so like I was saying before you came on, Kai, that I'm gonna do update photos when I get her texturing done. the 3 colors. And she'll be due for update photo. It just gives people, especially a customer, a better idea of their actual color, since the live doesn't show all the saturation and contrast. So it gives people a better idea what they actually look like. Alright, so I need to get in the area that I couldn't put the sponge. So that's going to be down in here. So you know what I realized? I don't even know if my pool is probably open on Monday. Probably not. I don't know what civic... Is that like the city? Is that government? Like what is that? I'm like, bummer. It's pretty going swimming. Where's that other brush? That's a wet brush. Dry brush. Is it this one? No. Where'd it go? Oh. So, her ears have enough red on them right now, so I'm not going to do this to her ears. I'm just going to go around. In this, around the ears, but I'm not going to put it on the ears. I mostly do their ears in powders anyway, so... My dry brush here. Well, the ear looks good. Still a little paint behind here. It's like, this feels like deja vu from last summer, when I made another one last summer. It just feels like a deja vu kind of feeling. Okay. Yeah, that'll come together in my work on her. Alright, so... she's really starting to come to life here. Before I couldn't even get it to show up on camera because of it being air dry, but now it's starting to show up now. Okay. Put her head up here. There we go. Turning off my lamp again. Ugh. I'm going to turn this I'm going to turn this way because it's driving me nuts. I keep turning it off. And then I can turn this the opposite way so that the on button is on the other side so I don't keep hitting it with my arm. Okay. So we need an arm. Here we go. Now I'm going to go back to the texture, brand new mixture. So it was this. I gotta figure out which brush I was using. Okay, that looks like... Yeah, that's what I would have been using on the wash. Oh, this is the salmon color, okay. So I need the mixie brush. Getting some of my heat set brushes mixed up in there. Here it is. Okay. Oh yeah, didn't I take out another brush because I needed to get... I needed to get more on there. This doesn't look salmon, it looks red. It's probably this brush. Okay. Sponge. Alright, so I'm going to start up at the top here. It'll be really tricky to get in here. This primer makes me have to work extra harder. It's good though, I mean, it's grabbing the paint, and that's what we want. But it soaks up the paint at the same time. On the elbow here. This looks a bit lighter up here. Gosh, definitely needs more of it here. All right. If you find that some areas are getting too much, you just flip the sponge over. But this keeps coming out more bare. Maybe it's the side of the sponge I'm using. There, it's better. Yeah. All right. Go down her arm now. Yeah, it's a lot stronger here. Depends where I'm getting her. Sponge. Okay. That up there. No, see, it's going lower. Turn the sponge around sometimes. So, all right. So now I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use this brush. I probably should use. No, I need to use a bigger one. So I'm gonna go over her. And here, oh no, this is the texture mixture. Sorry. That would have been bad. Okay. We don't want her hand to look like a newborn size strength. So I'm just gonna do a red wash on her hand here. Keeping her hand pointed down because it'll go backwards, the paint. Think gravity. No, I just used It's confusing when you have two different reds out. That's okay, I just drowned it in my other red, so it's fine. Getting in between the fingers, that can be tricky. Turning her over. Okay. So on the top of the hand, I'm going to use this to dry it off, to build a texture on the top of her hand. You could try to do that in the inside, but when it's a little harder when their hands got going all kinds of different directions. Helps you build the texture without missing areas. And then you just take the little sponge first, looking for any pooling, beading. Well, I'd say more pooling, because that anti-bead works really well. Okay, so now it's mostly going to be, oh yeah, in between the fingers. My nemesis for air dry. Can be for heat set too, actually. And it's harder to blend it in air dry because, I mean, heat set, because the fingers stay wet. So at least her fingers dry very quickly where I can easily move them without smudging the paint. So there's pros and cons in it on both sides. You know, those chunky, chubby hands there. It's deep creases. Okay, it's good, and I can see the texture built. So I'm going to go up here. up in this area here because it's very hard to get sponges there. And then I'm just going to use this sponge to blend it in. It's just a hard area to get into. I do try to get it in here, but I will be using powders in here as well. So it's not a huge deal. But if you can get to it, you should. This is my 3rd June. Okay. So I gotta go over where's the smaller one? This one here. Just gonna, oh, it's the wrong one. Actually, I need it to be a little stronger. So it's pretty bare over here. I'm gonna put that in there. Around her thumb here. She's got lots of chubs. So she's making me work harder to get. But she'll have a lot of creasing and stuff like that. And blushing and all that I can work in there. Okay. So just checking her over. Yeah, looks pretty good over there. So you can already see the difference there. See that? Crazy, eh? Just one layer. Does it? Does it? Oh, I think she already left. I think I missed that earlier. It's crazy that she started out this color. And now she's there. Wow. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat. Okay. Alright. Do her other hand now. I mean arm. Okay, that's a primer brush. It should be over there. Okay. Alrighty then. Yeah. Texture. Alright. Let's go. So kind of got to move this sponge around so I can get it from the other sides. I'm gonna add some red there anyway. Need more red in here. Sponges make you work for it. Still wiped out from Costco yesterday. I can't wait till they open the one near my house. I won't have to commute as far. It'll be a lot easier. Less tiring. And it was hot out. It was like 88. It's not too bad, but because of my meds, I just can't go out over 90 Fahrenheit. So I'm just kind of looking for any more bare areas that need to add more. But this part of it is complexion. That's why we do it, for like a skin complexion. We want to build that skin. Okay, so I'm going to do the wash on our other hand. Just take some of this off so it's not so strong. It's the same color, it's just one's weaker. Ew. Got a dry string on there. Joys of air dry. Okay. So I'm just going to go over our hand here. Keeping it facing down. I gotta put some, there we go. So some areas are really hard to get in, so I just kind of drown it. So we'll go in there. All right. So I'm going to use the other side of the sponge. Grab the paint so that I can build a texture on our hand. Because the reason, if I just use the sponge like I did her arm, because this is not all on the same level, some areas will get darker than other areas, and then it just creates a big mess. So it's better to just do it this way. I'm gonna need another dry brush, smaller one for this. There, see, now I was able to get the red in there because I literally made a puddle in there. Get in these creases here. It's weird because, you know, I was doing heat set this afternoon. And I have all this time to blend it. And then I go to air dry and it's like, gotta move fast. I still really love air dry as well as heat set. I like the convenience of air dry, that's for sure. That pickle you guys saw me struggle with for 10 months, well, he's going to be done in air dry. Because he's not going to take heat set. So I'm just adding some color here. You can see I'm using the brush to kind of pounce it, and that'll give me more of a texture instead of flat. I'm going to have to change that sponge. Okay, same thing over here. Just kind of bounce where it's more bare. And then it doesn't come out so flat. All right. Hand here. Toby. Okay. That'll be creased, so I'm not worried about that. Alright, so I'm just going to get some of these areas that are harder to reach. Then, of course, up here. Alright. So I'm going to check her other arm. See where I'm at. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty on cue there. So as it sits, you know, it darkens, starts to darken a little bit. But yeah, it's yeah, really good. This hand is a little darker, but it was darker before. That's because this hand is closed and this hand is opened. But the top of the hand is very similar. But she would, if she's holding her fist like this, it would show a bit more red than the other hand would if it's open like that. Alright, so hang our arms up here. So I'm gonna get her other leg. Get her leg on her other leg. Boy. All right. Okay, I'm going to start up. Yeah, I'll hold this part of her leg. Yeah. Uh, do you need me to come down at 9? I thought that's what we were doing. Yeah, I was just wondering, you getting off your live soon? Why? What time is it? It's almost 9. Okay, come back at 9:30 then. 9:30? Okay. I thought of that. I'm just doing videos. I'm not live today. Well, lucky you, because the trolls are out. Can you let me know when you live soon? She's like, I'm not doing a live. It's lucky you, because the trolls are out. Actually, I do pretty good when it comes to trolls, so I don't get bothered that much. But when I do my lives, like when I'm holding my reborns, you get more trolls in those kind of lives. But because I'm doing art, I don't get as many trolls for my art stuff. And if I do, I usually know where it's coming from. Just can't let it bother you guys. Like, I used to. Um, Especially before I was an artist and I was new to the reborn world, I was more sensitive because of the infertility depression. But now it doesn't bother me because I see where it's coming from. You have to be pretty immature to go out of your way to harass people and not just live your life. So you have to feel sorry for people like that, you know what I mean? Well, you don't have to, but, to me it's just sad. But it took me a while to get to that point, because I never understood how people can be that cruel. But I've seen mothers of disabled children, special needs children, go through worse than I have in the reborn community. So I just think about those women and I think, look how they're talking about their actual children, you know. And they stand firm, they stand strong. I'm sure it hurts them, it's their child, but they keep going forward, and that's all that we can do, right? One thing I've learned in the past year, I would say, no, probably a little longer than probably the last couple of years, is you can't let others steal your joy. Nobody's worth stealing your joy and your peace. Because if you allow them to do that, then they win. Don't give them that power. I can admit that. I used to let them, but this last year, I've become a lot stronger emotionally, mentally, it just, I just need to get there physically. I have a very blessed life, and that's where my focus is. Look at that. Yeah, the skin is really starting to build up. I'll be happy when I see Pickle and air dry, because he'll be absolutely gorgeous. But I need a break from him. It's been, look at that, in one layer. Just blows my mind every time. I always check it because I want to make sure. It's a color change. Look at the feet. Look at those feet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also had a really good talk with my teacher today. So, lots of new goals and some other things, and we did talk about Pickle and what was going on with him, and she said to me, which obviously I didn't know, but if they go through a temperature shock where it causes, like with Pickle when his face sunk in a little bit, well, that can cause surface damage, which no matter what you do, they're just not going to take paint, or it could be the kit. She said it wouldn't have been when I put him soaked his head in the water that I brought to a boil. She said that wouldn't have done it. So it was either just whatever they put on it to release it from the mold, or from the temperature shock did something to certain areas on his face, and above his ears. So I told her that I had restored a Saskia kit years ago. I think it was like 3 years ago. And she had acetone damage, and this other stuff that someone put on him already ruined the surface. But the acetone I'd used to strip certainly didn't help the process. So I was able to save that kit in air dry. Because heat set, the paint has to set. And it has to bake on in order to stay. Where air dry cures by air. So it's a lot easier. I used to think it was the opposite way around, to be honest with you. I tell you, I got my karma with that Pickle kit when I used to say heat set people had it easier than air dry. I used to say that. I don't say that anymore. I really got my karma with that kit, I'll tell you that. Hi, Kai. I only had one troll while you were gone. Not too bad. And I think it's a troll that we know. One of their goons. But I paid no attention to it, so don't worry. Doesn't bother me anymore because I know the truth. God knows the truth. Even they know the truth, but yeah. But you know what? I just feel sorry for people like that, because you got to think about how sad their life is to how bored they must be and lonely to need to get attention from people in such a negative way. That they have to make lies up about people to make their story real to them. I mean, I just feel sorry for people like that. Like, evidence don't lie, right? That's the truth with evidence. Some people just can't get let go and move on with their life, so. But I left drama when I left high school, you know. I guess I decided in my 20s that I need to be an adult. Yeah. I think this area might. The knee definitely here. But you know what's really funny? They don't even know the definition of the words that they're using. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know the definition. If you're going to be accusing people things or calling them a certain word, you need to learn what that word actually means. You ever hear that people just use whatever words and they don't even know what they mean? Ugh. Oh, it takes me back to my English classes. It's so cringing. Trust me, if there was any truth to anything, I wouldn't still be where I'm at. But you know what perseveres is evidence. Evidence always perseveres. I think just a little bit. Hershey's singing again. So sad his birth mama and birth father have both passed away now. Poor buddy. But he's spoiled. Yeah, there you can start to see her skin starting to come together. What a difference already on this kid. What a difference already. Crazy what one layer can do. That paint. That's some good paint. I bought some new containers for air dry. Ones that won't tip over. Because you know they like to tip over on me. Okay, there we go. I cleaned a lot of this with alcohol today. Oh, I'm never gonna get this, huh? They must be getting their cucumbers or something. So if you ever get a gray, like a grayish looking kit, I made this mix here. It's called salmon. See the color? It's called salmon. Such sucky babies up there. So how was your walk with Cooper? Not mine. That word lives in my head. My modeling's a different color. Aw, so bunnies. You know, my mom saw a hummingbird today. I'm jelly. I haven't seen the hummingbirds yet. They were drinking her roses of Sheridan. It was like literally fluttering right in front of her. I'm like, I gotta clean my cup up real good. A John Deere. A John Deere. I'm gonna ride. My John Deere. Maybe next year we can stay at that tree house. You know, above the Highland cows. They still have it going. Maybe we can go next year. Hey man, the pain's worth it. The back pain will be totally worth it. My brush is the color of salmon. Turn salmon. I gotta have close encounters with my friends. My Highland cow friends. So yeah, like I was saying in that voice message or whatever, that I want to like take this year, take 2027, learn all about them. I want to know everything about them so that when I do meet them, I'll know what to expect. I'll know their energy. I'll know like all kinds of things about them. So I'm prepared in advance and understanding their nature, understanding their habitat, just everything about them. I've done that. I did that over orca whales and dolphins, and I want to do that over. Well, I mean, my bedroom is decorated in Highland cows and sunflowers. I might as well. And then when we go, I can actually have a conversation with the farmer. If he's available, or she at the time. But yeah, I want us to go there and stay there. And we can still go to Niagara Falls and that if it's not that far from each other. We'll make it a fun event. Then we can go see the falls. I want to go to the Wax Museum. Do they still? I think they still have that in Niagara Falls, don't they? The Celebrity Wax Museum. I went there once when I was 16. It's a little creepy. I'm going to be honest. It's still a work of art. Maybe I'll appreciate it more. Being a doll artist and all. Girl. Ugh. I got through today. I did it. I'm like, no, I gotta work on her. I gotta do it. Like Nike says. So yeah, I gotta find out if my pool's closed or not on Monday. I don't know. They may yes, they may no. Got to call. I got salmon on my hand. The salmon. Well, because it's a civic holiday, so I don't know what that means. Civic. I don't know what that means. Like, I understand Christmas, Thanksgiving and Easter and Family Day and those kind of holidays, but I don't really understand this holiday, what that means, what's closed, what's open. Where my brother lives, they close everything. But my mom said the stores were still opened here, so there's that. Okay, those are heat set, I know that. This is air dry. Let's go here. Heat set. Heat set. Heat set. Well, if it's a holiday, it would be closed because it's owned by the city. And Teresa wanted me to come by and pick up my fancy wedding invitation. So apparently I'm still singing. I'm going to be singing at the reception instead of the chapel. But I'm going to be reading a Bible scripture on marriage. At the wedding. She's Italian. So Italians are like Catholic. But I'm really proud of her fiance who's supporting her. He's drifted from God since his wife passed away. And I don't blame him, you know, when we pray for healing and it doesn't come and we lose that person. But, you know, some people say healing is passing away because there's no more pain and all that. But it's like, no, we want them healed physically, you know. So, that can be, it's hard. It's a hard place. Sometimes the human body can only, as people, like, one of the hardest things for me is why some people are physically healed and some people are not with the exact same disease, you know. It's something you won't know until your time comes, kind of thing. Oh, they just found out. I don't know if this is true because you never know on Facebook. But they found out that a certain animal has is it oils or something they carry that has the ability to kill certain cancer cells. I forget what animal it was. I don't remember what it was. But I don't know how much truth there is to that anyway. So anyway, I'm going to sign off. I'll be back on tomorrow. Well, I got a groom tomorrow, but I'll be on in the earlier afternoon. So instead of 2, I'll be on around 12 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys then. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ta for now.